I love my work as a body worker, massage therapist, and through your teachings, I have really felt good about being more for my clients, just showing them their light. And I just feel like I'm really in my light when I'm doing my work. But I feel like with massage, the focus I was taught is to focus on the problems. And so shifting away from the pain that they have and expanding more on that, I really want to move my practice towards. And so...
Well, we can give you something really easy here that you can incorporate immediately and see instantaneous evidence of the shift. And the reason it's so easy for us to give this to you is because you have asked it so proficiently. You already understand that you already feel a natural aversion to zeroing in on the problem and sort of working the bugs out of it. So while there's a certain amount of that is expected by them, if you can, in your mind, and maybe bit by bit, you may want to begin saying it to them. I'll give you another piece of this first. We were visiting with a beautiful person a few days ago. And this man was having a very in-depth conversation with us about something that he's been working on for a while. And so we, as we've done with so many of you so many times, started in a more general place, which annoyed him because he's heard all that stuff from us so many times. And so he said, I know, I get that. And we said, we're giving you these sweet words, not because we think you don't know them, but because they're sweet words that we want you to feel. And then we said, you never go to this massage person and say, oh, I felt that wonderful thing before. Don't do that again. I've already felt that. You don't need to do it. Oh, yeah, I felt that too. You can skip that. Yeah. Yeah, I felt that before too. Yeah, skip that too. Yeah, I felt that too. Don't do that either. Because the whole point, not just of the work that you do or the work that we do, but the whole point of everything that all of you do is for the pleasure in the moment, the pleasure in the moment, the pleasure in the moment. You did not say, I will assign myself to a difficult life so that I can work the bugs out of it, so that somebody else in a comparative fashion can see how vigilant and valiant and virtuous I am. You didn't say, I'll go dig a great big deep hole and then I'll climb out of it for a really long time, and when I come out into the sun they'll clap and then they'll put up a monument. None of you said that. None of you said that. You said path of least resistance. You said life will inspire me. And so if you have someone that you can, through the relaxation techniques that you offer and through the pleasuring of the sensors of the body, bring them into that relaxed state, there is nothing more beneficial to them because their vortex is already full of their requests. When you do that step 3, helping them in the step 3 allowing part, everything else will fall into place. And if you will make that your strongest determination, you're going to get lots of inspiration to help move the energy along too. In other words, because you know already, you can feel energy blockage. But when you turn your attention to the energy blockage, you add to it rather than take from it. You don't rub energy blockage away. You block energy blockage with rubbing there. You really do, because you call attention to it, you see. So if instead you're looking for pleasure points, you're looking for good feeling, and then you will be aware of those energy blockages. And most important, you know this, it happens to you all the time, you will be aware when the energy begins to move. And when it starts to move, you can assist it a little bit, like paddling the boat and making it go a little faster. Just don't be responsible for the whole current. Trust that they're asking is responsible for the current, and that you are the advocate and the enhancer of the energy moving even a little faster once it begins moving. But if you see it as your role to get the energy moving, before you know it, you will take on the blockages in their body in your own. So there are some who would say, I really enjoy working with this client, but not this one so much. And we say, it's because you're trying too hard with that one. Don't try so hard. And you will see immediate results, even in the first time with this different mindset that you are tending to someone. Something more? This made sense, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So many questions have come up throughout this day. I do want to talk about, again, with the co-creator mastermind group. I have a deliberate creators group. We meet weekly. And I have heard, the benefit of being with more people than just with yourself. And when you spoke earlier about long as we're all in alignment. But I did want to just kind of get more tips of more that we could do with our group to get the most benefit of us meeting.
Well, we would gather some sort of intentions and ask everyone to focus on them and do their best to agree on them. And that would be, don't come to the group to work out problems. Yeah. In other words, come to the group to enhance solutions, which is sort of what we were just talking about with the massage also. Mm-hmm. Don't come to sort out the problems, because it all you do is amplify them and light up problems that are dormant in others, and then you have sort of collective group complaining time. Mm-hmm. The next thing that would be part of our agreement with one another is, don't come with an agenda either, other than the agenda of coming into alignment and co-creating together. And we would change the name. Instead of calling it a deliberate creating group, we would call it a let's get together for a really lot of fun group.
That's what we named it first. That's so funny.
Yeah. 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 And if you don't feel like having fun, stay home. Because you'll live through it, but there's no point in you messing up the fun the rest of us are having by bringing your problem to the group. That really is the way that we would approach the group. Awesome. And then those of you who really mean it, only 2 or 3 of you have to really mean that, and those that are using it for some other reason, they'll just sort of bounce right out of the group, and more who are looking for the benefit of alignment will join you. Yeah. And there is nothing more exhilarating than to be with a group of others, or even with any other, or even with yourself, when you are meaning what you say, that I really care about the way I feel, so much so that I'm guiding my thoughts and my conversation in order to enhance good feeling, not to stir up bad feeling. Humans have a sort of misunderstanding. You kind of do. You think that you have to find a problem before you can solve it. And we say, well, there's some step 1 into that, because in knowing what you don't want, you know what you do want. But once you find the problem, what you do want is alive and well over here in your vortex. Focus on that. And that's what you want the group to be about. Focusing upon the desire, focusing upon the solution, focusing upon the desire, focusing upon the fun, focusing on the flow, not focusing on the problem or the blockage. Really good. And we really like, and we want to point it out, how every time that we take the time to converse with some friend in this hot seat over more than one issue, it's almost always the same thing, no matter what they talk about. Because there is that blockage that they're trying to overcome. And so you just keep coming at it another way and 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 another way. That's sort of, and life just keeps delivering it to you till you work the bugs out of it. So how do you work the bugs out of? So here you are, you've created a vibrational atmosphere, didn't even know you did it, and then this happens and this happens and this happens, and you start to notice this sort of common denominator. What does that tell you? You got a bugaboo going on that you could soften a little bit, and so how do you know you've softened it? The stuff stops coming. It stops coming. So if we were standing in your physical shoes, the way we would be approaching this deliberate creative life is we would be doing our best to get up and get off on the right foot and milk it as much as we could and talk about things that feel good and watch things on television that feel good and talk to people that feel good and listen to music that feels good, which is not an easy thing. Valentine's Day is brutal. It's just brutal. But as you are determined to find things that feel good and find them and find things that feel good and feel them and find things that feel good and feel them, what you begin to notice is your life just fills in with things that match that. Really good. Really good. Really good. Yeah.